Hello everyone, it's Rachel here at From Moments to Milestones, and I'm going to put together our latest card kit. It is a Valentine's Day card kit. We have 3 cards. We have a candy slider and Sending You Love, and then a shutter card. So we are going to put those 3 cards together right now. So if you get a kit, it will come with written instructions, but you can follow along here too. So we'll get started. Our first card's going to be that Sending You Love. So the first thing we want to do is take this white tag, and it has a score line here. So we're gonna fold it back. All right, and then we're gonna put adhesive right here. And this is gonna go, we're gonna open our card. So your card has an inch cut off here. We're gonna open the card, and we are going to put that flap right like that, so that we can close and close, okay? So, and it's about an inch or so down. All right, so now that will look like that. Then we have this gingham strip of paper, and we're gonna open that up, and that is gonna go right here. And it's gonna have a small white border all the way around. Have this heart paper. This is on the other side. If you like that too, you're always welcome to use that, but we put down the multicolored hearts right there. And that will also have the same white border. Whoops. Okay, those are a little tag down, and this is going to go onto that tag. I don't have a white border all the way around. I butted it all the way up to the edge. So if you want the border, you can just slide it over. We have these 2 white hearts, and they're just going to get layered like that. Just going to use a little wet glue. One down there. One there. And then you have this Sending You Love sentiment. The colors will vary. This was made from a cut apart sheet from their line, and so there was lots of different colors. And stick that there. And that card is complete. Now, I did include this whole reinforcer that comes with the tag. So if you want to add that, you can. Maybe you want to add some ribbon to your tag. I'm going to go ahead and put it on this one just so you can see the difference. But it's up to you. I did not put it on my original, as you can see, so there's the difference there. So that card is finished. And now we'll move on to the candy slider. And I know like a pack of gum also fit in there. I'm sure there's some other different kinds of candies that would fit in there. This one goes together pretty quick. Okay, so you're going to have this folded piece of black cardstock in your kit. Okay, now I've already trimmed mine up, but it's going to come one whole piece, and you're going to want to, and it should have your holes punched. You're going to want to fold all these in, reinforce the score lines. Okay, and then you have one this way and one more, and then you're going to have score lines here. You're going to trim up, and then you can angle cut if you want. It just makes it easier as we're putting it together, but you don't have to make that angle cut, but I think it makes it easier to put together. So you just trim a little triangle out of both little squares down here, okay? And then once you've done that, I'm going to use some double-sided tape. So I'm going to put some right here on each little tab. Okay, so you could fold it in like this and do it like that, and we're going to put it on both those spots. Pull off the backing. Okay, and then you're just going to fold one side. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here, like this. Okay. Like that. And do the same thing on this side. Pinch it together. All right. And then we'll hold those in, and then this is going to be the top of your box, and those are going to wrap around that way. So I'm going to put adhesive here and here. All right. So hold those in, fold that down, make sure it's lined up. All right, and now you have this little kind of slider sleeve for your chocolate or whatever you decide to put inside a gift card. You could also put a piece of paper in there that would slide out and have a gift card on it. That's an option too. Okay, so let's decorate the front. So you should have these two sheets. You have this white cardstock and then this Be My Valentine. This is an option too if you like that. I'm not sure that the little birds will pop as much, but we're gonna put this on here, making sure to line up the holes. All right. Okay. And then we're gonna put that Be My Valentine on top of that. Okay. And then you've got your two little birds and the sentiment and the heart. Now these are also, the color's gonna vary. I have red here, there's a pink option. There's a, so this is gonna get glued straight down. And just have it down here centered. Okay, and then I did pop up my two birds. Got some black foam here. these kind of, I'm gonna sit them right on top of that sentiment. Just be mindful of the hole over here. You don't want anything covering that up. And then we also have this heart. Find a small piece of foam. I guess I'll just cut one of these down. Okay, and that's gonna pop up right in the center of them. So that part is finished. So now we just need to work with the ribbon to get our candy inside. I have a Kit Kat bar here. You have a 12-inch strip of ribbon, and we're gonna push it through the front hole and then go straight across into that other hole. So it's gonna look like that. And then what I'm gonna do is pull it so that it's, you know, equal. All right, so it's gonna be like that. We're gonna slide our Kit Kat bar into that ribbon. All right, and then you're gonna lay that. So I think the easiest thing to do is kind of hold on to these ends with one hand. And I'm using my middle finger to gently push it in. And now you have your candy secure in there, and you have some ribbon sticking out. Okay, so now when we're going to tie that ribbon up, and when you pull on it, the candy will come out. So then you have this piece of twine, and what I'm going to do with that is tie it very tight, as tight as I can, around that ribbon. All right, so we're going to pull it as tight as we can, and I'm probably going to have to hold it down. And I'm going to tie it again, a knot to secure it, and then we'll tie a bow. Okay. That's nice and tight. Tie a bow here. And then you can fiddle around with that if you want a smaller bow. Trim off the excess. Okay. Trim that off just a little. All right, so now when we pull on the ribbon, your Kit Kat will slide out. And that project is complete. Okay, our last card is this For You Shutter card. So that's your belly band. We'll slide off and reveal the shutter. So I'm going to put that off to the side so we can see what we're working on. Okay, so for this one, there is one piece to color. So it's this little bird here, and in this one we colored him pink and we gave him a red nose. I think for time's sake today I'm going to make this a little white bird, and I'm just going to use a little bit of gray and give him some shading. So we'll set him off to the side. Okay, so these are all of our little bits and pieces. Let's work on building up our shutter. So what we're gonna need for that is gonna be these two banner looking pieces, this piece here, and this. Okay, so when you open this, you're gonna want your hearts right side up. Now this is very difficult to see, but when we die cut this, this is a die from Lawn Fun. When it die cuts, it puts emboss marks. You probably are not going to be able to see. I'm going to outline it with my pencil there, and then there's one there, and right there. And what those are for, they're just little embossed lines. That's to help you line up these shutter pieces. Okay, So you want them, with this paper, it's the hearts right side up. You can build one this way with your shutter portion at the bottom of the card when you open it, if maybe your scene would want you to have that lower, but this card we're going to build that way. So you're going to want it right side up, and hopefully you can locate, you kind of got to hold it in the light to see those lines, and you may even want to, they're going to be covered, you could mark them with your pencils if that makes it easier for you, okay? And so then our next step will be these two banner pieces. So we're going to fold those back. Like so, and then we're actually going to pull them back out, and we're going to put adhesive on those flaps. So there and there. Okay, so I'm going to pull that backing off to reveal the adhesive. Now this card folds like this. So we're going to use this as like a guide to stop. So we're going to line up that line with that score mark and that score mark, or pencil lines if that's what you did. Butt it up against where it folds and fold it down and press. Now when you do that, that puts that right where it needs to be, okay? So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This time we're also going to line it up the same way, but also being mindful that we don't want it offset, okay? So here we want to make sure it's lined up with the top of this as well. All right, so now both pieces are on, and our shitter card, that portion's ready. So now we have these two tabs here, there's score marks, so we're just going to fold those in. And fold those in, and that's how we're going to attach. This is part of the shitter card add-on. Okay, so there's a shitter card die set, but it does not come with this piece. It comes with the stuff you can create. You can cut your own rectangle, and then it has a guide to help you place your circle. But this is really easy because it's the stitching all matches, and there's no measuring. It just cuts and it fits, okay? But before we put that down, we have this sending love that goes on the inside. It's this white circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, and then I'm going to use this as a guide. I'm not going to glue it down yet. Okay, that's where it's going to go. Okay, and I'm just going to stick that circle right inside, and now it's right where I need it to be. Okay. Now I'm going to put adhesive on these flaps. Okay. Not long enough. All right. So there's adhesive on the flaps. I'm going to start here on the bottom, line it up, okay, and then I'm going to fold this one in, then this one. It could go this way or that way, but you don't want them one on top of the other, okay? You don't want them opposite. So one down, then the other, and this goes right over the top, okay? And now works, okay? So you, in your kit, let's go ahead and build up the scene we have here. You should have a mailbox. You should have a snowy hillside, because it is February here in Indiana and Michigan, and it is very snowy. And we're also going to put that heart on the inside. So let's go ahead and do those things. Put a dog glue. Ooh, maybe too much glue. I hope not. Too much glue. There we go. All right. We got our little heart on there, and I'm going to stick on my snowy hillside. Okay. And this stuff is all laid down flat. You really don't want a lot of dimension here with this shutter card. It's going to be thick already, especially if you want to mail it. All right, so I'm going to tuck that just behind, and it's okay that it's going to stick up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go in the front because I'm going to cover up my, okay? It's okay that it covers that up. It is not going to interfere with that at all. The same thing with this little letter. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the top and stick that there. Okay, and then our little bird. He's going to go in here. Okay, so that part's finished. Now we're going to work on the outside of our card. So I have cut these two panels out of that same paper, and they have stitching. And so on mine, I just used the exact same. It's raised and you can see the panel, but it's subtle. If you like this paper, my personal preference, I thought it was too busy, but if you like it, by all means, flip that around and you can stick that on the front. I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on those. And I cut them so they would line up and center up with the pattern already there. Oops. So it'll look something like that. And now we're going to create that belly band. So I'm just going to kind of stick that off to the side for a minute. And these are the pieces we have left. So you have two of these identical pieces. They have a score line here and here. We're not going to do any scoring just yet, but each one has this tab with no stitching. So we're going to take this tab and glue it on top of that one. So we end up with one long line. Okay, so that's going to go just like that. Okay. Then we're going to take this. We're going to keep that seam in the center. And then the score mark should just wrap right around your card. And then we'll do that same, hide that part with no stitching and attach it on the back. Okay. Make sure it lines up. Your belly band there. Okay, so we'll build up the rest of our tag. I'm going to build that over here. So this is going to go right on top. You're just going to line up the holes. Line up the holes and make sure you're also covering up the stitching. There we go. And then the for you is going to go right in the center. I have some wet glue here I'm going to put on my finger and just touch the back of it like so. Stick it on like that. Okay. And then you have this piece of baker's twine. I'm going to fold it in half. We're going to come from the back, pull it through, and then pull those ends up through and pull it tight. And that will finish that little tag. And now we're just going to glue that onto there. You can use foam if you want. I think I just glued it straight down, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this double-sided adhesive on it. In the center, you obviously don't want to put glue on the edges because it will stick to the front of your card and you don't want that. like maybe I didn't put those in my kit. These 3 little white hearts. So they should be on a piece of blue Post-it tape in your kit. Looks like I have the tape, but no hearts. But those, I just scattered them. I put a couple up here in the upper right and one down here. And that will complete your card. And that completes this video for today. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.